it's not really what the it's not really what the priority ever is going to be in trading, because to be honest, it's about your character. I mean, a character get you in rooms and keep you there. I mean, that's as simple as I can put it, right? You can go from rags to riches, but if you don't have the character, then you will go back to rags. It's inevitable. We're looking
Mm.
at a field to where 97 to 98% of people fail.
Fail.
Um, a futures prop firm released their statistics for their challenges in 2024. They had 100,000 traders sign up. 97,000 of those traders failed.
Mm.
3,000 of those traders made it to their first payout, and only 1,000 of those traders were able to sustain profitability. And out of those 1,000, only 100 were good enough for them to actually a book to where the firm copies their trades. So you're looking at less than 1% of people that are actually able to do this at an effective level long term. And the culprit is always going to be consistency, because learning how to trade is easy. You can sit down under a good mentor for 5 or 6 months, you're going to pretty much have it.
Mm.
Mastering yourself is where people lose it, because it's you have to go against your human nature every single day. You have to
Every
be you have to
every
be a
single day.
professional at it. You have to be a professional at it. You have to be professionally, emotionally sound. And that is by far, I think, one of the hardest things, especially when you don't come from money, because when you have those days where you lapse in judgment or you mess up, that could set you back weeks. And getting
Yeah.
set back weeks could set you back months, especially when you don't just have somebody, here's 5,000, put that back in there.
Yeah.
Or, here, let me give you this loan. Like, nah, I come from people credit scores 400. We're not getting no proof for no loans. We're
Right.
not giving handouts. Um, so it was always like do or die for me. But biggest trade, I'd say biggest trading day, probably like 6 or 7K. I've done 10K in the week before.
Yeah.
Um, but again, I'd be lying if I said it was always just up, because like, when you have bills and you're doing it full time, you have to take into account your responsibilities. If I have $3,000 a month in bills and I have a 10K month, cool, I'm good for that month. But let's say the next month I break even. That 3K in bills still coming out. And then
Mm.
let's say next month I make 2K. Well, now I'm behind, you know what I'm saying? So, um, all in all, when I tell people about trading, the first thing that I kind of lead with is um, your character comes first and the results follow. And
Mm.
that's pretty much how it goes. It's not even about mastering the skill set or the strategy. Well, obviously you want to have a good skill set because that's what
Right.
gets you on the door. But after that, it's the character that sustains it.